So I'm going to go ahead and call the meeting to order. The first agenda item is approval and disapproval of minutes of June 11th, 2019 regular meeting. I think you've been provided with a copy of those. Are there any corrections or additions that need to be made?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Got a motion and a second to approve the minutes of the June 11th, 2019 regular meeting. Roll call vote.
McMurphy?
Yes.
Klein?
Yes.
Cunningham?
Yes. Number 3 is approval or disapproval of financial reports as of August 2019. And you should have those in front of you. That, I don't know if there's any questions about any of the investments or any other issues on there.
You'll notice there's two balance sheets. I just went ahead and provided you, because there was some transactions, and we changed from fiscal year. August 31st is the end of our fiscal year, so I provided you with how we looked at the end of the fiscal year. Financials were completed on September 7th, and so there were some rents that were paid or billed, so
And it didn't change it very much.
it didn't change it very much
About
at all,
$1,000,
but
less than $1,000.
just so you would be aware.
Well, just a minute. You said it didn't change it very much. I mean, looks like almost $30,000.
Well, because that net income can move to,
Oh, but
You're talking about on page 2,
They're looking at the
loss.
profit loss.
yeah,
Yeah,
because that turned into retained earnings.
oh, okay. All right. Gotcha.
Are there any questions or about the balance sheet?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Got a motion by Randy, second by Stan to approve the financial reports as of August 2019. Roll call vote, please.
McMurphy?
Yes.
Klein?
Yes.
Cunningham?
Yes. Action on any payment of any outstanding bills. We got any?
The pledge transfer of $4,100 is all that I have.
This is how much, 41?
Yes. Well, and actually, I haven't billed it yet, but we'll have our pledge, $7,500.
Well, why don't we put that on, special, we have a special.
Okay,
Since
that'll be
we
fine.
haven't billed it yet.
We can do it in December if need be too.
So the only thing that we need to do is make a transfer of the $4,100.
Right, that's just the pass-through money.
Is there a motion to approve the payment of outstanding bills?
Second.
In reverse order, we have Stan making the motion, Randy making the second to pay the outstanding bills, which is a pledge transfer of $4,100. Roll call vote, please.
Klein?
Yes.
McMurphy?
Yes.
Cunningham?
Yep. What is this? Pretty simple.
I know, right? I'm liking it.
Number 5, approval of the meeting dates for calendar year 2020. I think you've been provided with a copy of those. We're meeting, as you know, quarterly. Normally meet on Tuesday. This is special. That's the reason we're meeting today on Wednesday, but normally meet on Tuesday at 8 a.m. on those dates that are listed. Any needed changes?
I'm good with
I
Do you have that motion on that?
Yes,
Someone
and what you're so moving to
approve the meeting dates.
it. Second.
Okay, I got a motion second to approve the meeting dates as written for calendar year 2020. Roll call vote?
Klein?
Yes.
McMurphy?
Yes.
Cunningham?
Yes. Next is the update regarding the request from Dell Logston.
I sent that to you all. I do have a copy here. If you want to read through it again, or if you want me to read it, whatever. How do you
I read it. I was good with it.
He's just wanting to put that fan in, I guess, and that probably enhances the value of our building, actually.
It should.
So it doesn't really depreciate, no expense, no cost to our board to do that. So unless there's some specific question about it, I entertain the motion.
I'll make the motion. approve, say he puts it in.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve the request from Dell Oxman to install this fan system at his building that he's leasing at the airport. Roll call vote, please.
McMurphy.
Yes.
Klein.
Yes.
Cunningham.
Yes. Let's talk about the Winoki Incubator Project.
Well, they asked for a 1-year renewal. They have been at the full amount of $2,500. I made the renewal and sent it to them. I already have it back. Presented it to Rick, just, I guess, more of an update for you guys that they renewed it for 1 year.
And that's in accordance with their original agreement. They could do that. Made their request and
All was good.
all is good. They're paying, I guess they're paying.
Need a
Yes.
motion to approve it?
Don't really need
Okay.
anything at this time. That's
Just
just
more of a
what.
heads up.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right, WCEDC update.
I liked it better when we were the day before. And you guys the day after, I could have something to tell you. Wow. Since June, there's a lot of time in there. Spent a lot of time working with the Albi Arena Authority. They jumped through several hoops with them, seeking out financing, and we were looking to maybe get some funding from rural development. I know Todd's been looking in the bonding. We have a big pledge towards that project. It's kind of frustrating to have a large pledge towards a project and not have a small funding gap avenue to go and find. Just simply because of the context of what the project is. If it was the rail part, it would be so much easier. They don't, it's hard to categorize and show jobs. Now, with this new legislate, with their new governor and lieutenant governor, they have a very tourism focus. So maybe some of that will be changing in the future, and that may be to the benefit of all of us. Especially Winoka. That may actually really help Winoka. I attended a conference. This is why we had to have this special meeting, because I was gone yesterday, Monday, and Tuesday to the Emerging Technologies Conference. And I'm going to say, Randy, you missed a good one, because it was probably the best set of speakers that we've had. And they're providing us with their with the slides and information that we all, and I will forward that to everybody, but one group, one speaker I would like to have come, and I took a picture so I would remember to tell you what he's, they're called switchon.org, and his name was Dr. Scott Tinker, and it talked about renewable energy, and not bad or good or anything, but when people say renewable and what they think is renewable, it's not really, if you really get down to it, because the wind blades, that's not renewable. That's kind of, it's made from metal. The solar panels, that's, and nothing is truly, truly renewable or green. And I made the comment, I'd sure like for him to talk to all of our presidential candidates. But it wasn't anything bad or good, just knowing that there's always going to be a place for fossil fuels and manufacturing, and talked about turning how we are trying to be less of a carbon footprint, so we're shipping all of that manufacturing overseas, and which their carbon footprint then is raising tremendously. Anyway, so that was one of them. Another one, we talked about the infrastructure of electric cars, and Oklahoma is rated the #1 state to drive an electric vehicle because of the infrastructure that Francis Solar is putting in primarily. it will be so you will not go more than 50 miles and not have an electric charging station for a car. So anyway, I talked some about the tax credit for the wind projects and that sunsetting in 2020, and slowly how that is going to affect us, and that the fact that solar was being more reasonable. I mean, the price is coming down on putting in solar, and that's going to become a large part of Western Farmers' green portion of their portfolio is solar. They are in a project right now with wind, solar, and battery. So battery was a big portion of discussion too. And there were some little quips in there because it showed like in California a vehicle plugging in to charge up, and the charging station producing the ions for it to go was run by diesel. So, I mean, anyway, just what you think is there is maybe not what it really is. But it was very, very informative.
So are you saying green is gray?
Green is gray. When you, despite what you think, if you truly get down to it, it truly probably is. But anyway, so it was very good. The Secretary of Commerce came and spoke to us about our branding and tourism. He kind of spent more time about the election and the process and how he got to where he is and how our governor went about the selection of his cabinet members and everything. He said, literally, I called probably every person in the state and fielded them before I took them to him. And he said, how I got here is I sent him 8 good candidates that all said that they would serve. And he called me in and come talk about it. And he said, I found my person. I said, that's great. He said, that's you. He said, I better pray about this and call my wife. So, anyway.
Go back, if you're finished, back on the electric deal,
Mhm.
did you get anything with, like, at the arena, there, are we just the one?
It's just the one, because they had a sunset on when their grant funds were available.
And do these guys know about that?
No, go ahead. I would like for you to tell them.
I mean, they approached us at the courthouse. I think they went to the city first. And they wanted our lawn, or whatever. They wanted to use our parking lot, the one east of the courthouse.
Mhm.
And as far as I know, that we've got some say-so in it, I wanna put a curve in from Flynn to whatever's government street, or whatever is in the post office there in the northeast corner of our lawn, and let them have a kind of a half U there where you can come in or leave off of Barnes or that street at the post office there where the drop boxes are for the post office, right across in that corner.
So will that be paved?
We'll concrete it coming off of Flynn and onto that street, or just put a half circle in there. But they wanted us to put it in that parking lot, and I was just concerned of people parking on a regular basis, blocking it.
Yeah, I think when they approached the city, they were actually wanting to use part of their parking there for City Hall.
Well, here's the whole deal.
They don't, wasn't illogical, there's just not enough parking.
They don't have it, they aren't in. We're gonna have to pour the concrete. We'll have to do that. They're just in to put a station in, and they were looking for existing places.
Right.
So, but I don't like, we got that electric car charging place there off of that parking lot. Who knows when somebody needs to charge, and it's gonna probably get blocked.
And really, it's gonna be your tourist people, and primarily the reason that we showed them downtown is because we want them, you need something to do while your car's charging.
Well, you can
And
walk
we want
around.
them
Yeah.
to patron our downtown businesses. So it's a twofold motion to move them to our downtown area.
How long does it take? I don't know much about
The charging,
Mhm.
a couple hours. It can be, if to get a full charge, depends on how far down, I mean,
Mhm.
If you're truly a tourist, I mean, then it could take a couple hours driving, cause you're gonna run it, and but like I said, 50,
How they charge for that?
it is on an app.
Yeah, I'm so far behind. I was down at the ODOT building and they have a couple of stalls out there with the charging place. And I was with Donnie and I went out, came out of the building early and I was looking around this. There was no place there. No credit card place, no nothing, just these electric cords hanging up there like at a gas pump. And I'm like, well, you gotta be on an app and it charges you.
Just like the scooters that you see.
I guess if you're
Driving
smart
more.
enough to have an electric car, you're smart
Yeah.
enough to have the app, probably.
Yeah.
The
I guess
scooters
so.
that people get on downtown,
Yeah.
same concept.
Yeah.
Well, is there any place back there behind the professional building and all that concrete slab back there that you guys could, without tearing up your yard, your lawn?
Well, here's the deal. I kinda like this deal.
Okay.
More concrete we get there, less maintenance.
New York City.
Well, I mean, I'm serious, and I think it's a good place where nobody should block them in. And there's a way in and way out. There's two ways in is what I'm trying to get at. And yeah, I don't, but
You don't mind?
but that's the co-ops, most of that, or they're, and just the parking places there, but they're all mostly pull-ins.
Yeah.
And this deal would just be, make a loop.
So what, I don't know, but you may know this, but what's kind of expense do you have to charge one of those? If you charge for 2 hours?
I don't know, well, I don't know. I don't know that, but I will tell you that there was, they, in California, I mean, there was a study or whatever, and there was a lady that had, it's a car, I don't remember the brand, sorry, but the month traveling for her was $14.31.
Who regulates that, the cost? Is that the Corporation Commission?
I'm
In
pretty
Cat-
sure.
I mean, I don't,
I think I
honestly,
read
I
that.
honestly don't know.
Rick.
I was just curious.
I do
I'm-
think I did.
The corporation, what do you think? Normally
Yeah.
they do, but I just, well,
But
that's an
anyway.
interesting concept.
We are supposed to have part of that infrastructure here. The next closest, I think, is Enid and Woodward.
Woodward's getting 2 or 3 of them.
Yeah,
You know where they're putting theirs?
No. I've heard of 1 or 2 places, but I'm not certain where.
one will be out at the big complex or whatever, where they're.
At the fairgrounds.
Yeah. Yeah, where the,
Crystal Beach.
Crystal Beach, yep.
Cool.
So, anyway, it's interesting. They have
So if you,
Ford's making a pickup.
go ahead, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Ford has a pickup that they're releasing. And I'm looking for there'll be a big promotional video that Western Farmers is gonna send out on the pickup. They were kinda talking about it, having it hooked up and showing the power that it does have, you know, hauling a load of cattle down the highway and stuff.
How would they bring the electricity in? And how do they segregate that from the other utility electricity?
It's not. You go on the grid. I mean, everything, once it goes all on the grid. You don't know what is what. I mean, there's no way to do that. There's no way to know if it's what
So they're
what
buying it
generated
from
it
OG&E?
from Southwest Power Pool.
Okay. That's interesting.
So, anyway, I'll send you the slides and
What
stuff.
was
that
it
they sent.
that, there's some kind of money they got that they're using this, to do this?
The grant money that they received, yeah, it's some federal grant money that was like $28 million to do infrastructure.
Yeah, but it was some deal like the tobacco deal or something that
Oh.
generated that.
Yep, from that settlement.
But, yeah, I don't remember what it was over
No.
now, but that's what
Yep, that's right.
was something here in Oklahoma that created that money there.
And I have a link to that showed that we were the #1 state to drive electric vehicles, so I'll send that out to you as well.
Is that per capita? Or when you think California's some of those states that have been doing some of this for a while.
I'm sure it's because they have, our infrastructure, it's because where our infrastructure is located and where theirs is. And yes, I'm gonna guess that it does have to do with the population difference.
They think that it's, besides cars, they're gonna do it with pickups. I think these electric pickups will be able to pull all these trailers and do all this stuff that the farmers do right here.
They do. They
I
do.
can't
Hell, the
That's
gas
why-
ones won't.
Yeah,
I don't know how electric one is.
So we're gonna see, but that's what I think Ford is
It's
one
gonna
of
be
the
just
reasons.
like my grandkids. Every time they want to play something, says the battery's down. I can see it.
They had a bike there too, like a bicycle, and I was like, what's the point? Why do you have the pedals on there? Why do you have pedals on there?
Well, I don't have it, just with the little ones that we, every once in a while get in the shop, I don't know how many times I've pushed that button and don't hear anything, and so push it again, trying to, till I hear that motor start.
Yeah, and not till you push the gas.
When you push the foot pedal, then it goes.
Yeah, the foot feed wouldn't be
I was
gas.
out, had to go to Phoenix last year and rented a car, and it was one of those. And every time I pulled stop, I think, oh crap.
Yeah.
It died.
It died. It died. You know, I wasn't used to driving one. It's like, oh. Anything else, young lady?
No, okay, yeah, one other thing. Working with the Rural Water District #3, Charlene has been putting together cost for me on infrastructure improvements, because we're working together with the AVAR board to try to get funding to upgrade District 3 water infrastructure in order for them to provide water to the park. Because the way it is now, they would not be able to provide water if we were to have some sort of business locate there that needed any significant amount of water. So. we're working with that.
Industrial water.
Yeah,
Right.
without interrupting service to everybody else. We already know that that infrastructure is antiquated. I mean, we learned a lot of that during the fires. So,
That's it.
okay, I'll quit.
Let me ask you a question before we adjourn. Are any of you going to be gone for an extended, any of you, either one of you can be gone for an extended period of time? We may need a special meeting here in the next couple of weeks.
I have no plans.
Okay, well, if you were, I was gonna have
Nothing
Randy
scheduled
and,
anyway.
or Randy, I was gonna have Connor and Richard show up for the next one. You guys can be excused. Okay, if that's it, then we're adjourning, and officially I have 8:20.